The Golden Boot Pod is proud to announce that merchandise is now available. We have everything from t-shirts and hoodies, to hats and beanies, to drinkware, to wearables and blankets. You can find it all under the merchandise tab at thegoldenboot.podbean.com or go directly to thegoldenboot.com. As always, thank you for supporting the Golden Boot Pod.
The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole. Hey, welcome back to another edition of the Golden Boot Podcast. It's your boy Pooh Bear. I got my man Aunt Petty Murphy in the building. And that's it. We are 1, 2, maybe 3, depending on how you want to count them. People short tonight. But hey, the show must go on. How you doing tonight, my bro?
I'm good. How you doing, dog?
Hey, it's another day. It's another day. If I be any better, I'll be twins. I think that's what they say. Something like that. Something like that. But we got a few things to talk about tonight. First off, preseason award watch list. So we have the media preseason all SEC. You've got Ali Gay. You've got BJ Ojulari, Mason Smith, Keyshawn Booty. You got for the Nagurski, you got BJ Ojulari. For the Buckets, you got Michael Baskerville. For the Outland, you got Jaqueline Roy. And then for the Ray Guy, you've got Jay Bramblett. Yep. So that's what we got for that. It's a lot.
It's a lot of talent on this team, dog.
A whole lot
of talent.
A whole lot. Also, next up, it's something that I think we were supposed to talk about on Sunday, but we didn't get to. Brian Kelly on the hot seat. So I know during SEC media days, Peter Burns, Jordan Rogers, and those guys mentioned it. But the sideline SEC said that Brian Kelly is on the hot seat, or they had him listed as one of the coaches on the hot seat. He hadn't even coached a game at LSU yet.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is the Colin Cowherd talked about it on his show today that the media just don't really like Brian Kelly because he's not really a likable guy, like some of these other coaches. He doesn't always, give them that, laughable, huggable type of guy. So they tend to, kind of dismiss him a little bit whenever they mention the best coaches and all that. So I think that's part of the reason. And then I think the other part is the expectations at LSU and where LSU has been the past 2 seasons. Whenever, you're supposed to be contender for national championships and you're going 500, then whoever follows that coach is going to have the pressure to get back to the standard. So I think when you take both of those into context, I think that's why people are saying he's on the hot seat. But I don't think he's on the hot seat. I think he does have a little bit of pressure, but I don't think he's, if he don't win, he's getting fired this year, nothing like that.
Completely agree. If you look at his record, his coaching record, I know people like to nitpick. He was at Grand Valley State, Cincinnati, Notre Dame, and now he's at LSU. But if you look at it, he is the all-time winningest coach in college football actively right now but he still gets that he doesn't get the love he deserves. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree. People try to nitpick and say, "Oh, well, he hasn't won a national title." Then when you bring up Grand Valley State, oh, it was a D2 title. You know, they try to find a way to diminish his accomplishments anyway. I mean, he's made it to the national championship game multiple times, and there's only seven active coaches who's even made it to that game, and four of them who've won. So you can't deny the fact that he's one of the best in the game, and he's definitely a top five coach. You can say because he doesn't have the national championship at this level, he's not above a Kirby Smart or maybe Jimbo or somebody like that, but you can't put him. You can't put too many people above him.
All right. I said in Spaces the other night. If y'all don't come to LSU Spaces, y'all missing out on a treat. But we were talking to the guy, Irish Bill, I think that's was his name, about BK and stuff. And he talked about he can make it to he's made it to the national championship, but hadn't won. And I compared it to the argument of Michael Jordan versus LeBron. Michael Jordan faces his toughest competition on the going through the Eastern Conference size in the playoffs. Once he made it to the finals, as we know, he swept. LeBron swept through. Once he made it to the championship, he struggled. We know that as LSU fans, if we make it through the SEC schedule, honestly, who's going to beat us? It's been labeled the toughest conference. Year in, year out, they put in the most players into the NFL. I don't see how you can't, if you make it through, you lose. As a matter of fact, I can't think of it. Well, Auburn 2013, that's probably the last time an SEC team lost in the made it to the national championship and lost. I can think of because it was LSU, but LSU was playing Alabama, and then Auburn to Florida State.
The first year of the playoff, Alabama lost in the first round in the
they lost in the first round, but they didn't make it to the championship.
Yeah. No SEC team did. So,
right. All right. So, let me ask you this: what's the most important game on this, or the most important games on the schedule, in your opinion?
Week 1, for sure. At Auburn, because playing in Jordan Hare is always crazy. Playing Tennessee at home, and then Florida on the road. I think those are all the quote unquote toss up games, swing games, whatever you want to call them. But the outcome of those games can make you go from being 7-5 to being 9-3.
Yeah, just looking at our man Holden Lee says, just bring me the season already so we can shut them up. Bookmark.
Yes,
I agree. Y'all just don't know. I've got a lot of tweets bookmark.
Oh yeah, me too.
It's funny because I actually had a tweet bookmark about Joe Burrow. I had 2 of them, and every time Joe would win a playoff game, I was sending it to cold takes. And this one guy, he was like, "Hey, bro, come on, you gotta let me live." So I was like, "All right." And then another guy, he was like, "Man, you had this one saved." I was waiting on it. But yeah, so I agree, Holden. I'm the same way. For me, week 1, of course, the first SEC road game.
That's at Auburn, ain't it?
Is it at? Yeah, it is Auburn. Okay,
yeah,
Auburn. And then it's going to be. I'm gonna say this one, and this might shock some people. Southern. The reason I say Southern, I want to see so we know the teams that we toss up could beat. It is impressive. Yeah. I want to see how you beat the teams that you should beat, and do you beat them in the fashion you should beat them? That's why.
Good point.
Hey, what's up, Aaliyah?
What's up, baby? Love you, baby.
That's what I have. Now, I don't think we've done this yet. Record prediction for the season.
I don't even want to give mine after Blake show because he's gonna say that I'm just doing the old cliche. I got an example, but I ain't gonna say it. We'll talk after this. But it's like the 2. I'm going 9-3. And I can give you my loss. I got 1 Alabama. I got, and the other 2 is gonna be toss up.
Okay.
One of it's gonna be either Tennessee
Mm-hmm.
or Ole Miss, and then the other one is gonna be either Arkansas or A&M. But them the three losses. So I guess I could say 8-4 just so I won't be stereotypical, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna stick with my 9-3.
All right. Tyler Townsend is in the chat. Says, "What's up, guys?" From the 3-1 great.
What's
There's
up,
only
baby?
one. There's only one.
Yes, sir.
So,
Proudly too, baby. Proudly.
but my
What
record
you?
prediction,
What you got?
I got 8-4.
Okay.
I've got Alabama. Um, I've got Tennessee. Um, Ole Miss, and possibly Arkansas. I honestly think now.
I
Let
can
me
see
say
us
this.
losing all of them.
I think we can. I think we can beat Arkansas, and I think we can beat Ole Miss and Tennessee. So we 11-1 is not far out of reach for me. But I do think, realistically speaking, I think 8-4
The
is
only the only team I disagree. I think we beat Tennessee. I
Mhm,
think we could beat Ole Miss.
mhm.
Arkansas going I got them finishing number 2 in the
Really,
West. Yeah.
really. Okay, we actually have a poll. If y'all have not seen it, go over to our Twitter page.
The
Uh,
pulse
we
of the
have a,
people.
we have the People's Pulse of the Week. I mean, or Pulse of the People poll of the week, going over, and it's asking, what do you think LSU finishes in the SEC West?
Say
Big
that three
pressure's in the
times fast.
building. Yeah,
Say
I know,
that
right?
3 times fast, bro.
I know, man. Hey, listen, and I did. It's funny because when we made it, we made it because we wanted to be like that. But Lamar Williams, aka Big Pressure, says 10 and
Okay.
2. Okay,
Okay.
Pressure, tell me those two teams. Uh, that's funny. Um, and then Tyler Townsend says, "I say we can be anywhere from 8-4 to 10-2." I agree.
I'm with that. I'm
Um,
with that.
uh, Ryan Thibodeau says, "I agree with y'all on 8-4, but I think they beat Tennessee, then it's 9-3. If they beat Tennessee, then it's 9-3.
Mm.
Bama, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M. I don't see Texas A&M being
I don't. I
8-4.
don't. I don't neither. But I. I don't. I don't. I see. So y'all kind of sleeping on Arkansas. I see. Okay.
A lot of people. I think Arkansas is a threat. I just don't. I think they're still beatable though. Very beatable. I think we can beat them.
The reason why I'm so high on them compared to some of these other teams is they one of the only. Oh, pressure. Oh, pressure. That boy pressure saying we beating Bama.
Bama. Yeah, he
Okay.
said Arkansas and
Okay.
Ole Miss. I'm
Okay. I
sorry.
like the hot take.
He said Arkansas and Ole Miss.
Yeah. So okay, he got us beating. But okay, I like the pressure. But Arkansas returning their quarterback.
KJ Jefferson.
Yep, they got a good old line, good running game, good weapons out wide. But the main thing is they returning their quarterback, head coach, both coordinators.
Mm-hmm.
And they one of the only teams that can say that. You know what I mean? So if you look at, Ole Miss, new DC, look at A&M, new DC, or Ole Miss offense and defense. Baby, you crazy.
She said Daniel retired. No, he
Nah,
didn't. He's just out for the
nah.
night.
Yeah, he using his PTO. He got more than me. But Ole Miss they actually they got a new quarterback and both coordinators. If you look at A&M, technically they got a new quarterback because the one who started for most of the games for them last year is gone, and they got a new DC. So most of the teams in the West don't have that chemistry and continuity. Yeah. So that's why I think Arkansas is going to be one of the number 2 team in the West.
Holden asked a good question. He says, I'm asking y'all, with these record predictions, y'all worried about our talent from a winning standpoint or just worried because of the chemistry with the players and the new style? I'll take this one first. I think isn't talent-wise, definitely no. No, it's not talent. I think we got plenty of talent. I think we've upgraded from last year's team talent-wise. What I am worried about, there are certain players that have come in that we did upgrade from that have not played in the SEC. For instance, somebody who could possibly be QB1, Jaden Daniels, he has plenty of starts, But how many? None of those starts have been in the SEC stadium. None of them. Even playing at home in Tiger Stadium is going to be a big experience for him. Then on the defensive side, we got Fouché, Greg Brooks. Of course, they came from Arkansas, but you got to look at Bernard. Converse. Jared Bernard Converse. You got him who came from the Big 12. Let me put that back up there. You got him that came from the Big 12. I'm trying to think of who else we got. Seven Banks from the Big Ten, which again they've played in big time stadiums and stuff. But it's just my thoughts of what they look like, and then how good. My biggest thing, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I think this will be the first full year that Brad Davis has had his offensive line. Mm-hmm. I want to see how they gel. Yeah. If they can gel 10-2, 11-1 all day, in my opinion.
Yeah. As far as me, I'm more worried about the depth than I am the actual talent. At some of these positions, offensive line, we got talent, but how much experience do we have? On the second unit. Defensive line, we got talent, but we kind of thin in some positions. Especially if you talk about the nose and stuff like that. Linebacker, we got talent, but how much experience do we got? So if you start breaking down some of these positions, the depth is where I really question, and that's why I don't see us going 11-1 or 10-2, because you're gonna have injuries, you're gonna have a guy get banged up, and you're gonna have to rely on somebody who don't have the experience. So that's really my main concern is depth. But experience, we got experience as far as a starting unit. So it's not really a talent or experience issue with the starting unit. It's the guys who we're gonna have to count on if one of them guys go down.
Agree, completely agree. All right. So as I like to say, let's move on to the other favorite team in the state, the Saints. Mickey Loomis came out this week and said, "Don't expect Michael Thomas on the PUP list for long."
He off, ain't he?
Later on that week, Mike Thomas was back at practice.
I think he off now, if I'm not mistaken, because Phil Yates tweeted out that he just had to pass his physical and stuff. So I'm pretty sure he off. But
I do know he completed in practice, but he just did not do the
7-on-7 part.
The 7-on or the full team exercise, what they call 11s or however you want to say. Well, Holden comes in and says, "Good answers. I respect that. I really think 9 and 10 wins can happen. Let's hope, fellas." Completely agree.
Hey, that boy Michael Thomas came back. He came back ready, dog. He came back petty.
Yeah, that interview. I can't remember the writer's name.
Jeff Duncan.
Yeah, Jeff. He told him basically. He said, "All you've been doing is talking BS.
You've been writing out that BS." But go ahead, go ahead and ask your question.
Ask your question. Yeah.
Then they asked him why did it take so long for him to come back, and he just looked down. I don't know. You got to ask the trainers and doctors. But I'm back now, so watch me on the field. I love it, bro.
Yeah. Jarvis Landry. Mm-hmm. He posted a picture. I don't think I got it. I've got the actually I do have it. Jarvis Landry, they did, the Saints did the whole team pictures and stuff. And he posted a picture. They did a picture of Jarvis Landry with with his, his Saints uniform. And he also had on the had a LSU helmet and a Lutcher helmet. That's right, Lutcher, ain't that how you say it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it pulled up. So for those of you who have not seen it, but yeah, it was dope. I liked it, saying just seeing, him being able to, represent for the state like completely and full. Oh, where'd it go?
Don't be putting all our business out there, boy.
Yeah, I know. Got all my notes showing. Oh, come on now. I've been sabotaged. Yeah. But yeah.
There you go.
There we go. So yeah, I thought it was a dope picture. I mean, Louisiana through and through, representing for the state. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was, so it's dope to see like teams do this. Like it reminds me of what Detroit did for Ivy. It's just saying some things are bigger than just that organization and that team, and when you represent for a state. So I like that. I don't know if they did it for Tyron. I would have loved to see them do it for Tyron as well. So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure they did, but
yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about Tyron doing one too. That would have been cold too.
Yeah. So next question. Biggest question mark for the Saints this year?
Left tackle.
Okay. Elaborate if you will.
All right, you got your Pro Bowl guy who been there for 7, 8 years or whatever, however long. He gone. He in Miami now. So you got the rookie you drafted, Trevor Penning, and then you got the swing tackle who was there last year, pretty much Bryce. So which one? Who wins that? Who wins that account? Can they? Because you got Pete beside them, who isn't always the most durable. So how much are they going to be able to rely on him for help? So how much can they give Jameis time? How much will Jameis trust them coming off an injury? So that's really my thing. That left tackle position it's so crucial, especially with a quarterback coming off an injury.
Yeah, I think mine is and you kind of touched on it, is Jameis. How comfortable is he going to be on that leg? Where is he going to feel comfortable enough to run? Is he going to feel comfortable enough to that when the pocket breaks down around his feet, to step up or step back or make a move, plant, and he's not
step into his throws, all that.
Yeah, so that's another question. I think that's the question I have for the Saints. Another one I have, Ryan puts up here. His thoughts: left tackle, tight end, RB2, RB3. My question is, who takes RB1 reps when the eventual punishment comes down? When the inevitable punishment comes down?
Well. I'm glad you brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
The scuttlebutt is that he might not be getting suspended at all.
Oh,
apparently. Now I ain't got no sources or nothing. I'm just reporting what I've seen some people discussing. Apparently, the video of the incident worked out in Kamara's favor somehow. I don't know. I haven't seen the video. So if that is the case and he doesn't get suspended, or if it's just a game or two, you know what I mean, nothing severe, then that RB2, RB3 isn't such a big deal. And you having Ingram there, that if Ingram doesn't have to carry the load for 4 to 6 games, or they just signed Malcolm Brown, also don't know how much he's going to factor in. But, those guys, if they don't have to carry their workload for 4 to 6 games and they're just used as RB2s and RB3s, now how much does that help the offense? Having those guys fresher down through it. So, I mean, it's the running back situation is fluid, and it's going to be very interesting to watch to see how it plays out.
I'm just waiting on you to finish. Kamar, no suspension.
Hot take, you heard it here first.
Let's go. That would be because initially I think what kind of gave me a little hope was how he was real confident about it. Yeah, I did this and I knew it was more to the story. But of course, we only saw the part where it looks like they just jumped on this guy for whatever reason. So
yeah, and then that's the thing. Like the video could show that he didn't have nothing to do with it. He was just there. You know what I mean? So we don't really know the situation. So that's why I've just kind of I've been saying 6 to 8 games. You know what I mean? Just kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Trying to be worst case scenario type situation. Yeah. So If it's less than that, then it's just a pleasant surprise.
What is going on with my Lord Jesus
Uh-huh.
over here? I'm
Sam,
trying.
Samsung.
No, this ain't even Samsung, bro. This ain't even Samsung. But no, I'm just So moving on from the Saints, just talking about the rest of the NFL. Come on, Kyler Murray, his new contract. Some of the details of his new contract have come
It's
out.
wild. Wow.
It is wild. So with Kyler Murray's contract, hold on, because I want to put this up here. So one, so people can see the numbers, and then two, talk about some of the other stuff that goes along with oh my goodness, again. Technology does not want to work with us tonight.
The clause that got me was he must spend 4 hours of independent study. Away from the team, away from coaches. On his own, he has to study for at least
Independent
4 hours.
study.
4 hours a week. That my thing is, do they not believe that he is putting in the work, or is you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
So
if you're Kyler Murray, why did you agree to it?
so apparently, that is actually pretty common.
Okay.
To have that in there. It's just I think of the way they worded it. They worded it in a way to completely get themselves out. Oh my God.
Yeah,
They worded it in a way to completely get themselves out of the
deal they needed to.
The deal, just in case. But the one that got me, they also with that 4 hours of study, they cite that distracting activities like video games, he can't be doing that in that time as well.
Yeah, supposedly he a Madden head. But if let's go. Let's
Paul
go.
Schemes.
Let's go. Hey, that means LSU going to at least to Omaha. It got to at this point.
Yeah, that is a big time pickup. That is the kid out of Air Force. I think was he a shortstop or what was he?
He was everything.
Okay, there you go. All right, so let's do this the old fashioned way. Let me bring this up. So as we stated, saying one of the first clauses was the 4 hours of independent study per week, no video games and stuff, no distractions. One of the other clauses that was in there, if Murray participate in any type of baseball related activity, including and without limitation, a tryout, a workout, a practice, a scrimmage, an exhibition, or a game for any baseball team in any baseball league, he will default on his I was going to say on his loan, default on his contract, and the guarantee money is out the window. So what are we looking at? Guarantees. So here we go. Boom. Right now, this year he's still on his rookie. He gets a 965,000 with a signing of 11.7 mil. Next year, he has 2 mil with a signing bonus of 5.8. Option for another 7.2. Workout for another one. It's going to be a 16 mil cap hit. As y'all can see, I got the numbers up there. I don't want to go through all of them. Year 2 under this contract is where he's going to make his big bucks. Base salary 37 mil. So yeah, that's big time. Kyler hit the lotto. I don't know best way to say it.
That's crazy, dog. That's crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
DK Metcalf got paid today too. You seen that?
I did not see that.
Yeah, he finally got. He wanted his deal early because he know that he finna have either Geno Smith or Drew Lock throwing him in the football, so he know his numbers was gonna go down. So it
I
was
don't
gonna hurt his
blame
look.
you.
Yeah, go ahead and give me my money now.
Holden put up a question in there or a comment. He says, "So when does NCAA come out? Y'all buying it?" Holden, I mean, yeah,
August,
hold that
August.
comment.
It's 2023, ain't it?
2023 is usually is it August? Usually in July, isn't it? I think it's in
I think
July.
yeah, it's July or something like that.
Okay, hold that, and I got something for that. I actually have something prepared for that as
Okay,
well.
okay.
Um,
I didn't even know about this, so okay.
yeah. Julio to Tampa Bay. Any concern?
You said concerns.
Any concern? Is that like
tomato, tomato, tomato? I'm throwing tomatoes. Boo.
Yeah, that's my concerns.
Gotcha. Julio is what, 33. Tom Brady is 40 million.
My only thing about Julio, I ain't worried about him being old Julio, nothing like that.
Mhm,
My thing is he finna kill in the red zone.
mhm.
Um, Gronk gone, so
That's
they
true.
still got Mike Evans, but without Gronk, Brady gonna be looking for somebody, jump balls, back to the end zone type stuff, and Julio gonna kill with that.
All right. Joe Burrow had an appendectomy to remove his appendix, and she said, "What was that?" Joe Burrow had an appendectomy, remove his appendix. He's still expected to be back by week 1.
I ain't worried about it.
Ain't at all. Um, I'm glad he's going ahead and getting this done now, so he can make that run. We didn't have this as a topic, but what realistically do you think the Bengals got another one in them?
It's gonna be hard because, all right, for one, they're playing a tougher schedule.
Mm-hmm.
For two, everybody know about them now. They can't really sneak up on anybody. Um, and for three, if you really look at it, last year they playoff run was, I don't want to say lucky, but the ball bounced their way. Everything fell in line that had to fall in line. So they got better, but the AFC got better also.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Yeah,
look at Denver,
yeah.
Denver got better. The Chargers got better. The Raiders got better.
But
Um,
that's going to
the
be
the,
the
the
AFC
Browns
West.
the Browns got better if Deshaun Watson plays.
I don't
Deshaun
know if
Watson
the
is an upgrade over Baker Mayfield, so they
yes.
got better. I don't know, Pittsburgh not really, and I don't think Baltimore did, but Miami got better. I think the Patriots gonna be better. Buffalo's still Buffalo, so it that they got the talent to do it, but man, it's so hard, bro, because that AFC is loaded.
I disagree with Miami got better. Miami got, I mean, talent wise, they did get, but they got a new coach. First
That's
time head
yeah,
coach.
yeah, that's true. I'm just looking at the talent. That's a good point. That's a good point.
With Cleveland, they did get Deshaun Watson, but they lost Landry. They don't have Odell.
They got Amari Cooper.
They lost they tight end. I'm not even dignifying that Amari Cooper with a what you call it, but it's just, I mean, I think he'll be wide receiver 1, but
I'll say this. All right, Deshaun Watson last year, who was he throwing the ball to in
Hopkins.
Houston? Not his last year. Hopkins was already gone.
No, Hopkins was still there. They left.
No, my bad. No, Hopkins got hurt. There was 1 year he was throwing the ball to Brandon Cooks, Will Fuller. You know what I mean? Like, so he don't necessarily got to have the best receiver.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's talk about two people who out here lying on quarterbacks. Devontae Adams calls Derek Carr a Hall of Fame quarterback, and then Tyreek Hill says that Tua is the most accurate quarterback. First of all, if you're Patty Mahomes, do you call Tyreek and say, WTF?
No, because it's a lot of quarterbacks that need to call him and be like WTF. Joe Burrow need to call him and be like WTF because Joe Burrow more accurate than Tua. There's a lot of quarterbacks more accurate. Jimmy Garoppolo more, and that's saying something. But I think that right there was just a situation of
supporting your quarterback.
Exactly. Now the other one I think is a little more than supporting his quarterback. I think that's a brotherhood friendship type deal, and he really feel like Derek Carr don't get enough respect. And honestly, I think so too. Now I ain't gonna go as far as say he a Hall of Fame quarterback now, but I feel like he done had MVP caliber seasons. Not saying he should have won, but they were up there with those type players. But both of them they exaggerating a little bit.
Trey Lance. It's Trey Lance time in San Francisco. Looks like the 49ers are moving on from Jimmy Garoppolo. Where do you see as a landing spot for Jimmy G? I got two.
Go ahead, Dan.
I think one, Seattle is a possibility. And Atlanta.
All right, so I'm gonna start with Atlanta first. I don't think Atlanta because I think Atlanta taking and trying to get a draft pick, so they don't want to win really. So they not
tank for Miles Brennan.
I'm not dignifying that. And then Seattle, Seattle could use Jimmy G, and Jimmy G would be a good fit for what they need at quarterback. But in a division, why should I help you? Why should you help me? You know what I mean? Like type situation. Pressure said Miami. That's interesting because the head coach at the Dolphins was the offensive coordinator last year for the 49ers. If they go the first 6 games and they 1-5, 2-4, and Tua just ain't cutting it, then do they make a trade? Honestly, the New York Giants could use him. They got plenty of weapons out wide, but Daniel Jones just don't really seem like he that guy. And I kind of agree with BK Taker Ryan too.
Houston Texans.
But I just don't. They got some young guys. They got draft picks. Do they really want to take on the money? But I think it's going to be a team who wants to win, but either injury or their quarterback struggling. So, hey, what if that get hurt, or what if somebody like that goes down? I can see it's going to be a team like that in my opinion. Gotcha. Washington should go get him because he's better than Carson Wentz, but that's neither here nor there. Atlanta gonna go get CJ Stroud. Yeah, either him or Bryce. That's probably who they're gonna go after. I think CJ Stroud gonna be the better NFL quarterback.
All right, let's try this again. Computer, don't fail me now.
I got it, sir.
All right, so the XFL this week announced the 8 cities that will be hosting their teams this year. You've got Arlington, who is coached by Bob Stoops. First of all, I want y'all to pay attention to the coaches as well.
But hold on. Go ahead.
Okay. Arlington has Bob Stoops. Houston has Wade Phillips. Las Vegas has Rod Woodson. Orlando has Terrell Buckley. San Antonio has Hines Ward. Seattle has Jim Haslett. St. Louis has Anthony Beck. And DC has Reggie Barlow. Shout out to Reggie Barlow, former Alabama State Hornet player, former Alabama State head coach as well.
Shout out. Didn't Bob Stoops get out of coaching because he didn't want to coach no more?
That's actually, I think that is one of the reasons he got out.
And then he didn't coach like the AAF or one of them.
No, he coached the Dallas team in the XFL.
Okay,
last time. But and then he coached in the bowl game for Oklahoma
Yeah, so honestly, I don't know what it was, but he showed doing a lot of coaching for somebody who was tired of coaching.
Yeah. So I just I'm a scroll. I'm not gonna read the names again, but I'm just gonna scroll at these coaches again and see if y'all notice. One, it's a lot of former players and some coaches, but I don't know if y'all noticed what I noticed.
It's a
And
lot
I
of
don't know if you
pepper.
know.
It's a lot of pepper in that salt.
8 teams, and I had to look this up because I was going to list Anthony Beck. I was trying to figure out how did he identify himself. He identifies himself as African American. So with that being said, you got 8 teams, 5 African American coaches. That is interesting. The
I
you
think that says a lot about the Rock, though. You know what I mean? And
That's true.
the represent. I mean, you look at the going to Jackson State and doing the HBCU showcase thing. You know, the amount of diversity in the coaching ranks. I think that shows the representation that and ownership.
You look at the USFL. The USFL had 8 teams and 3 African American coaches. I think 3 African American coaches and one person of color, or however
Yeah.
they identify. Um, so all the other leagues seem to be getting it. The NBA is, what I'm saying, 15 and no, I'm sorry,
No,
it's 15 African American coaches. Eric Spoelstra is a Hispanic. Is he Hispanic?
he
I don't know.
Asian. I think he Asian.
Is he Asian? Oh, he is
Yeah, I think,
Philippines.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. And then you got, so you've got, a lot of diversity there. Hockey, no, but we get it.
It's hockey, dog.
It's hockey. Yeah,
We just glad we're starting to get diversity among the players in
that's true.
hockey. You know,
That's true. Major League Baseball has some, diversity amongst managers and coaches and stuff. NFL seems to be the only league where head
the good old
coaches.
boys club.
Yeah, it's the same head coaches that they do when they do get African American head coach. They get one shot and you're done. So
Yeah.
it seems to be.
Hey, that's kind of why I want to see what Ty Bowles does, because you know what I mean. He got his other shot after he probably wouldn't have. So
That's true.
I want to see if he can make the most of it, but I kind of hope he don't.
That is true. I guess this could have went with the LSU stuff, but all right, let's try this again. All right, don't fail me now. Pistol Pete got his statue finally. Finally, Pistol Pete statue was unveiled. I like it. I like his statue just simply because with the behind the back pass and stuff. I think they jacked up the hair, but it's dope that they did this. They announced it on his birthday and then they just released it the other day or unveiled it the other day. But yeah,
it's dope.
Congratulations.
About time.
About time, well deserved. So
Hey, shout out President Tate too, man, because it seemed like when he got on campus, we started getting a lot of statues, and we started, if not just making them, but announcing future ones and stuff like that too. So it seems like he's really trying to put his hand in the athletic department, and not metal, but try to do what he can to empower him and make it as strong as it can be.
Correct. Kevin Durant still hadn't found his next home. It's been, talks with the Celtics have heated up. I've seen.
I wish Daniel was here for this.
Yeah, I've seen Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart for Durant. I've seen 4 players for Durant.
I've seen Jaylen Brown, Derek White, 2 first-round picks for Durant.
So outside of what it would take to get him to make this trade go through, should it even happen?
No. If I'm Boston, absolutely not.
Okay.
For one, as you can see, you just offered a young star, a solid role player in Derek White. Or if they offer Marcus Smart, then they offered a star and another starter. 2 starters and one is a young star, plus picks, and that wasn't enough. And you're getting a 35-year-old, I think, 34, 35-year-old who's injury prone and starting to be on the downside of his career, and you're taking away the chemistry and all of that this young team has been building. I mean, they finally got over the hump and made it to the finals, and now the guy who was most consistent for you during that playoff run, especially the finals, you're like, hey, Bow, we
Hey,
finna get rid of you for a guy who we don't even know if he wants to be here or not. So I just don't think it makes sense for Boston. And if you look at all the teams who made deep playoff runs, they got a lot of homegrown talent and depth. So why should Boston give up some of that homegrown talent and depth for a guy who's like a mercenary at this point? And whenever he leaves, your team is worse than whenever he came there.
all right. Holden Lee says, talking basketball, boy, I need in on this. Ant knows, talking my language.
Hey, that's my dog right there. We always talking basketball. That's my boy right there.
Dylan Smith comes in. He says Boston can still contend without KD. They
For
literally
sure.
did.
I mean, I mean, that's another thing, Boston. Y'all put clamps on KD in the first round. Why would y'all give up all that to go get him? Y'all saw what can be done to him, and so I just don't get it, man.
Oh, I don't think he's so. As you already said, he's a mercenary at this point. Um, why do you need Kevin Durant on your team? You literally beat him. I'm not saying that teams you beat, you don't need some of those players. Um, I think that what they faced with Golden State against Golden State is not so much that they got beat because they were missing certain talents or stuff like that. It was their first time. You could see the jitters. Tatum was horrible. Um, and Boston was in most of those games until a certain point.
Well, not just this though, but they've already improved their team. They got Malcolm Brogdon for nothing. You know what I mean? They signed Gallinari. They got pieces and they improved. So it just don't make sense. You got all this momentum moving forward, and I don't know why you would want to take 10 steps back with a move like this.
Dylan Smith says Brooklyn's probably going to try it one more time with Kyrie and KD and see what happens. I don't think Kyrie is. I think Kyrie going to be.
Well, this is what I think gonna happen. They're gonna run it back this year, and depending on how it goes by like the All-Star break and trade deadline, if they look like they contending and if they look like they contending and they actually doing what we think that they could do together, especially with Ben Simmons back in the mix, you know what I mean? Then I think that they're gonna keep Kyrie, try to give him an extension and work on an extension and stuff like that. Now, if they 8th, 9th, 10th seed around that time, they're gonna try to ship Kyrie for something before he walked, and then they gonna probably trade KD in next offseason.
All right. Dobees and Tony Weaver says go New York Knicks or NYK. Go away, Jimmy Dolan. No, was it Dolan?
Yeah, Jim Dolan. Yeah,
y'all need to get rid of him ASAP.
Hey, but they finna get Donovan Mitchell though, maybe. So they can have a backcourt of him and Jalen Brunson, two undersized, overpaid players.
Speaking of landing spots for Donovan Mitchell, you say the Knicks. I don't know.
I think it's either there or Miami.
Ooh.
With Jimmy Butler and his extension.
For those of you who have not seen, I think I got the picture. Jimmy Butler went and got his hair done.
Oh man, bad chick status.
Yeah, he actually videoed the whole process. Did you see that with the video of him doing it? That he had his hair braided. She pulled it out, washed it. Oh my God, this is so horrible.
Hey, you know who he looks like? He looks like old boy Malibu's Most Wanted when he had the.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you who he looks like. I'm gonna hold on. Let me get the picture up here, and then y'all can see what we're talking about. Hold on.
I don't know what possessed this man to do it. Holden Lee, you are. Oh wow, that's a hot take, Holden.
All right, so it's not acting. It won't act right. But as some of y'all saw, I'm gonna tell you who he looks like to me. Future off of 8 Mile.
Man, hold on, bro. Holden said, with a healthy Jamal Murray, the Nuggets are winning it all next year. Book it. Negative.
Only Nuggets winning is gonna be Wendy's or Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, those spicy nuggets from Wendy's for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's try this one more time. See if I can get this thing. But nope. No one want to cooperate. All right, forget it. We done.
Well,
We
it
done.
ain't
Moving
working.
on from that. It ain't
Just
worth
go,
it.
just go Google Jimmy Butler extension. That's all you got to
You ain't got. You just Google Jimmy Butler.
do.
Jimmy Butler bad shit. First of all, Ryan, what you not gonna do is come at me for my PC. I do need to reboot it. This thing been going crazy. Y'all knew all the behind the scenes work. All right, so I got one more basketball question for you.
All right.
I don't know if you've been watching or if y'all been seeing Bryce James, LeBron's youngest son, has been tearing it up in Las Vegas and AAU basketball. My question, Ant, is LeBron's biggest or best part of LeBron's legacy what his sons do, potentially do in the NBA? It's well, the combination of what he does and then what his sons do.
I get the question, but honestly, whenever I'm looking at his legacy, I'm not looking at his legacy as a parent. You know what I mean? And how his game impacts their game. You know what I mean? I'm just looking at what he did. But I will say this though, if his kids are able to, make it to that level and be successful NBA players, I think that it'll show that he what his kids saw him like the way his kids saw him play was more impactful than the way Jordan's kids saw him play. Because Jordan was an ISO guy, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna do what I do. And if his kids don't have that same athletic ability to do some of that stuff, they couldn't do that. But LeBron's game isn't necessarily centered around athleticism so much as it is IQ. So that's something that his kids will be able to pick up. So even if they aren't as athletic, they'll still have that same type of IQ. So I think that's one, it just goes to show that his IQ was be able to be passed down, where Jordan's athletic ability wasn't able to be passed down to his.
I got you. That's understandable.
What you think though? What you think?
Well, I think his kid. So that's two shots he made. That's gonna be very, successful. I think that his kids gonna be, what I'm saying, they're gonna be better ball players than Steph Curry kids. No disrespect to Riley. Though he got a son. Did he just have a son?
I was about to say, I don't know if he have a son. Yeah, I think
he might got all girl.
I don't know.
I take that back. But I do think they will be the most successful father-son duo or father-children duo in the NBA, because the only other one I can think about are the Berries.
The Berries, yeah, they like the Matthews of the NBA. They got everything. It's a few other ones, but not really on that level.
I mean, think about it. Who else you got? You got Clay and his dad, but
that's Michael Thompson was a dog though.
Yeah, Clay and his dad, but
you put me on.
I mean, unless Sharif show us something we ain't seen.
Not happening. Yeah, that's a good point though. It probably is, because we know it ain't Magic Johnson's son.
I just caught what you said, boy.
Bruh.
But honestly though, like, I think Bron, definitely be LeBron. Like, you got Tim Hardaway and his son. You got a few people up there. Clay is a good one though. Obviously Dale and Seth and Steph. But you got some guys who we grew up watching who got kids now. Like DeJuan Wagner's son, DJ, is like the #1 player coming out next year. Kenyon Martin's son in the NBA now. So I think maybe one like Carmelo's son, what's
That's
he gonna
true.
be like? So I think you're gonna have more. You're gonna
Chris
start seeing
Chris
that more and
Paul and
more.
his son. So
Yeah. You know what I mean?
so
I think you're gonna
that's true.
start seeing that more and more.
All right. We got two more. So this one, we've been kind of bringing up every so often. Brittany Griner. This week we saw that the United States offered up a deal for Brittany Griner and Mr. Whalen for the arms dealer that Russia really wants back. We'll see if that happens. She's already been over there 160 days. We all know what this is, and
they said her trial should be ending. I think Friday maybe, and sentencing and all that should be coming. So I think Russia. They said Russia was trying to expedite it, for negotiation purposes or for this arms deal and all that. So it's we know what it is. It's political at this point.
very political. So, Ant, I got a good one for you. So, Holden asked the question. So, when does NCAA coming out and y'all buying it? First off, we talked about when it's coming out. I'm definitely buying it.
Oh yeah. I done already told my wife I got 10 years of making up to do on this game, bro.
Exactly. Listen, I'm definitely buying it. And oh my God, that Jimmy Butler picture popped back up. But I'm definitely buying it. See if I can get this to
try it one more time, huh?
I'm gonna try it one more time. You know what? No, I'm not. Old fashioned way. But bam. I don't, so of course this ain't what it's gonna be, but I would love for that to be a cover option. My question for you, Ant.
All right.
NCAA 23, would it be 23 or 24? 23.
Probably 20. It'll probably be 24 though, huh? Because they usually
24.
do
Yeah. NCAA 24 comes out. What features do you want on the game?
Bro, me and my coworker just talked about this last week. All right.
Yeah.
So for one, you definitely gotta have transfer portal on there for sure. And you gotta keep, and when you're in dynasty mode, you gotta keep your players from transferring, make them happy. NIL, I gotta have that, dog. Like instead of recruiting points, I need NIL dollars. You know what I mean? And how much NIL dollars am I gonna spend on each player? Conference realignment. You know what I mean? Like if I want to decide to move the SEC to the Big Ten or something, LSU to the Big, something crazy like that. I need that option. Man, there was one more. There was one more. What was it? Like Jackson State and all them, all them type of schools.
The HBCUs,
HBCUs and all that. Actually having like the band, the battle of the band and all that. Like actually having a little extra gameplay and stuff with it.
I want to see FCS schools on there so you can do an FCS playoff.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I want to be able to see style points and see, support to say, hey, you need so many style points to, to impress the playoff committee.
The playoff committee. Yeah.
I want to see that. I want to see, hey, the playoff committee is expanded in such and such years, and I want to see that. NIL definitely got to be on there. As Ryan say, NIL and conference expansion pack definitely. Transfer portal. I realistically want to see, negotiating NIL deals and stuff like that.
I want to see that too.
Press conferences with
they used to do the like the recruiting points, and you had to spend so many recruit points. Just change that into dollars, like and then have it to where like okay, LSU get 500, or whatever, 500,000, whatever. But if you go to Texas, you get $1 million. You know what I mean? And make it harder. Like I want to see all that kind of stuff, dog. And then I want to see coaches leaving in the middle of the year, and somebody trying to come take my coach. Somebody trying to come take me and make me go be like if I'm at. I used to always do this. I used to get like ULM or Louisiana Tech and go in dynasty mode and have them win the national championship. So
Right.
if I was to take Louisiana Tech to the playoffs and then have like Texas try to come and be like, hey, come to Texas now, and try to recruit me as a coach to a different
Right.
school.
I like it. I like it. We are 38 days away from kickoff.
Hey, we got a NFL preseason game like next week, don't it?
I want to say it's no, it is like next week.
The Hall of
'cause-
Fame game or whatever.
Yeah. Let's see when it is. August 4th.
Let's
August
go.
4th, Thursday, August 4th. It's the first game. It's Jacksonville versus the Raiders, Las Vegas.
Let's go.
Hey,
Football season here, baby.
yes, this seems like this probably been the longest off season. And personally, it feels like it. I'm ready to.
I think part of it is because there's so many unknowns, bro. Like you had all these head coaches moving, and not just head coaches, but coordinators leaving and taking jobs, all that. And the only real thing we know about football, college football this year, Alabama gonna be good, Georgia gonna be good, Ohio State gonna be good. Other than that, we don't really know nothing.
You don't. We even got questions and marks around Clemson for the first time in a long time.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like I expect them to be good. They got the talent, but like Buddy on Blake's show said yesterday, they losing both their coordinators. So what I mean, and they've been leaning on Venables for that whole little dynasty run they had. So what they gonna be without them? So
what does Oklahoma look? That's another. What does Oklahoma look like?
What does Michigan look like now that they finally beat Ohio State? What does Michigan State do? Do they that last year they had all them transfers? Can they repeat that success? What does Oregon look like without Cristobal? There's so many questions, dog.
It is. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.
But until then, we'll be back on Sunday, y'all. We'll see y'all, and like that, we out. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe on Twitter at Geauxlden Boot, on Instagram at Geauxlden Boot, on YouTube at The Geauxlden Boot Pod, on Facebook at The Geauxlden Boot Pod.